Okay, so I have a customer who wants to commission me to make a necklace for his wife. He said she likes purple but not floral. He wants it to be 3 different size circles that are all put together into one piece. And so what I think I'm going to do is I've got this chopped up purple cane. This is cane from Lori Moreno. Once a year she has a big Black Friday sale, and I bought this Black Friday 2021. And I've been pushing it around for a while, and I think that this might be the perfect start for his project. So I've got a piece of kiln paper down here, and I'm basically going to start by making myself a part sheet. So I've got some fiber paper and some dams. I'm going to create a little well, and I'm going to put these in it, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. Okay, so I've got my kiln paper down on the floor of the kiln, and then I've got my dams here, and I've got some 1/8" fiber paper strips lining this whole thing, and now I'm going to fill it with that cane. Okay, I didn't have quite enough cane to fill that whole void, so I just had to redo my setup a little bit, but no big deal. I'm going to fire this at a full fuse because it's going in with another full fuse load, and I'm going to do a really long anneal on this because it's going to be a thicker slab anyway, but also because after it's a thicker slab, I'm either going to fire it again and let it flow out, or I'm going to drill it. And if I drill it, I just want it to be super stable. I just don't want cracks and such, and so I think the longer that I anneal it, the more stable my glass will be. So anyway, I'm gonna do this first firing, and then we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. All right, so I think this piece looks really cool. This is the part sheet, and I did not spray the sides of the what's it called, kiln paper. If I had done that with the fiber paper, then I probably wouldn't have gotten these spikes, sprayed it with like a zip or some kiln release spray. But so I've got really spiky, hurdy, extremely sharp bits around the side there. But this looks equally cool, I think, from the top or from the bottom. You on the top it kind of spreads out, and you lose some of that definition. It's really cool on the bottom as well. So here's my plan. I am going to first I'm going to take this over to my flat lap grinder thing and just knock off these spikes real quick. I'm not going to go all the way down and grind the surface, but I just want to take these spikes off so I don't accidentally hurt myself. And then I am going to drill out some pieces that then I will put back in for a full fuse to become potential jewelry pieces. So I'll show you that next step. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. I just took those tips down just a little bit. And now what I'm gonna do, I've got a little bit of a sponge here, and this is just a car wash sponge that I cut up. This is a fast food container, but I'm just going to put some water in here and kind of soak that sponge and put a little bit of a pool of water, because I'm going to be drilling holes, and I want that water to cool my glass as I do that. So I'll be able to kind of hold my glass down and use my drill bit and drill into that. So let me get my drill set up. Okay, so what I have here are diamond drill bits that I have used before relatively successfully. I just got it hooked up to my power drill, and I'm going to basically do a core drill here, and then the inside circle is what will end up being the piece that I'm going to use for my jewelry. So I'm going to put this on time lapse because it's going to take a while. I'm going to cross my fingers that this goes well. It's going to take me a while to get through this. This is really thick. There are two schools of thought here. I could put this back in for a full fuse right now. You know what, as I think about it, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do, because then the pattern will have rolled out and done everything I want it to do, and then I'll know better when I'm drilling exactly what I'm gonna get. If I would drill it out now and then put it back in for a fuse, it's gonna spread out and look a little different. So, change of plans. As I think through this out loud, I'm gonna go ahead and full fuse this again. So I guess I didn't need to even worry about grinding those off, but because that's thicker than 6 mil, I want it to spread out. So I'm gonna put it in for a full fuse and let that sucker spread out a little bit, and then I will drill it, which will, 1, make the drilling easier, and 2, allow me to identify exactly what pattern I'm gonna get when I drill it. So let's do the full fuse, and then I'll come back and do this. Okay, I'm back. I did do a full fuse on this, so it's spread out a little bit more. It's not technically 6 millimeters. It's still a little thicker than that, but it's certainly spread out a little bit more. And now to my point again, I have a better sense of exactly where I'm drilling and what I'm getting into as I do that. So I've got my dish of water, I've got my sponge. This sits nicely on top of there, but then when I push down, you can see how it starts to get under the water. And so that's gonna be my intention, is to hold this down with one hand and use my drill with my other. I've decided I'm gonna drill on the back side. I don't know why, just backside has a little texture. It's probably gonna be a little easier for me to get started. And so that's what my plan is. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm convinced that this would be easier if I had a proper drill press set up, but I don't. And so part of the point of this video is to show that you can do it without that. So I've drilled 3 holes now. I've got my pieces here. So these are the cores that I was trying to drill out. Now, it kind of flares out at the bottom and when it's getting right to the very end and breaks off. I can grind those off. That's not a problem. I'm curious why that happens and if there's a better way to control that. I'm trying just to, when I'm starting to get in pretty deep like that, I'm trying to just let the weight of the drill do all the work and not doing any pressing, so that I don't have it kind of blow out on the bottom, but it looks like it's still happening. So if anybody has tips on how to avoid that, I'd certainly love to read those in the comments. I've got more holes to drill with the different size bits, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep moving. All right, was that the easiest process? Probably not. Was it the most efficient? No, but was it effective for the tools that I had? Sure. So I ended up with several rounds, which was what I was going for here. And then there are a couple of little pieces that, you know, break off in that process, and that's okay. I'm going to keep them all because I think that those will be cool as, you know, additions to jewelry in the future. Never refuse to refuse. So here's my blank. I am going to hang on to this because I may cut some more out in the future. I will break this off and use it as a design element. I may take it to the tile saw and do a couple of rectangle pieces out of this. So lots of good opportunity still left in this one. I'm just going to put it to the side for now. On these, I'm going to take them over to my grinder and kind of clean up the bases and then start to assemble the jewelry for the next firing into the kiln. I can't believe I forgot to actually record video of this, so you're just going to get a lot of still photos. I did a tack fuse, and while it kept the shape of the circles, it was really pretty thick. So he asked me to go ahead and do a full fuse on it, which blobbed it out a little bit. You lose the definition, but it did thin it out, and in the end, he was pretty happy with this. I ended up doing a couple of pieces all at the same time, so you saw I had several circles. So I did this little piece as a trio. I like the way that this looks. I have another piece here that I did with just 2 circles, which I thought was kind of fun. And as you'll see here, I did use my glass bales. I sell these. They're at www.Fusing.shop. I like the look of these glass bales because they just, you know, they don't seem to fight or compete with the piece itself. I like the way they look on the pendant. And then this is the final pendant. So this was the one that he commissioned me for. He's quite happy with this. Thinks his wife is going to love it for Christmas. So thanks for watching. If you like following me here, go and follow me on Facebook. I did share some process videos and some process on Facebook. So go join the conversation there. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.